All right, kettle corn down.
Okay.
It is time. We are back. Hello, Joy Behar.
How are you? Did you miss me?
I missed you a lot. The
Yeah.
people, I'll tell you, the viewers of the podcast, also known as Joy's podcast, missed you quite a bit, and we're happy to have you back. The show missed you for sure. How are you feeling?
I was really sick.
Yeah, you were sick and burning the candle at both ends.
That I can burn the candle.
Mm-hmm.
I can't burn the candle when I have a virus.
Yes.
I mean, I know I'm not a kid, but even though I'm very immature,
Yes.
but to have a bug and have to work
Yeah.
and be a performer is impossible. It's not well, you know.
Yeah, I got to be honest. At first, I was figuring you were just ditching out of work, but then you had to cancel some of the shows too. You were so sick.
I had to cancel. They canceled a couple of shows, and I just wanted to make it to opening night because so many people were coming, and it was a big night. And I did, and I made it to opening night, and I still felt sick after that. And I basically turned a corner on Sunday morning.
Well, let's talk about that. First of all, it's opening night of My First Ex-Husband,
Yeah.
your play, not your first, but your current play. And the opening night was so much fun.
Did you like
I
it?
loved the show. You were
Oh,
hysterical.
that's so nice. I
Really
mean,
sincerely.
You would never say it if it wasn't true.
No, that's absolutely true.
Yeah. What did you like about it?
I thought it was legitimately funny. I thought it was heartfelt. I thought the performances were really good. And, also the added thing is so these are real stories.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not telling who told you these stories, but
No.
some of these people are a little famous.
They're familiar to
A little
you?
famous. I know some of the people that
one
I've
of
heard
them
some
is
stuff.
famous.
One of them is famous. Others are people in your stratosphere that I've met maybe or am aware of. It's kind of fun. So it's got that mystery box aspect. I think you should lean into that. It's kind of like, for generations, people are wondering what You're So Vain is really about. Who she write it about? You can go into this. I think you can get some interest.
I don't know. But the truth of the matter is that the average person who's coming to the show does not know who it is.
No, I will say this. The famous person,
Yeah.
I thought that and I won't say which monologue it is, but the performance, I feel like is a great performance, and I feel like that person is doing the person it's about. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of feel.
I'm not speaking.
All right, I'm just saying.
I didn't tell her who it was.
No, it's fine. You didn't tell me who it was either. I heard from other sources.
You figured it out. All
yes.
right.
Well, also it feels like they're doing that person. So, if you're interested, come out and see it. But
I mean, I'm going to be interviewing more people because this is one of those projects that has legs in a way. Like you can add, like after I'm going on the 23rd of February, that will be my last performance. Then a new batch comes in: Susan Lucci and Judy Gold and Tanya Pinkins.
Are you still going to intro it and stuff like that then, or no?
Well, no. I can't be there that's it.
Yes.
But we're doing a film piece.
Oh, great.
And I will appear on screen to say what's going on.
So you'll still get your touch of Joy Behar when you go to see it.
I'll be there, but only on television.
Well, so listen, we went. It was everyone. Whoopi's coming a different night. She couldn't go that night because she had a conflict.
I'm trying to get Whoopi to do one of the monologues. I think she'd be brilliant.
She'd be so good.
Well, we'll see if she can. I mean, I don't want to push my friends because I know how that is.
Well, everyone, Whoopi was supposed to be at the one you ended up canceling, and she's going to go to a different one.
Yeah.
But the rest of the hosts were there, including original host Sherry Shepard and Star Jones.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That's
We all took a photo on the red carpet, at which point I was next to you, and then I realized that you've had a horrible virus for 3 days, and I'm sitting here with my arm around you.
I wasn't contagious at that point.
So you say. I hope
but you're
not.
contagious before it even shows up.
All right. I was concerned. I will say, as a audience member, I didn't know you were sick at all. You were very sharp and together.
You sort of rise to the occasion.
I guess so, but it was good.
But you have to know that the producer of this, Rose Caiola, she takes care of people. She's one of the most incredibly generous, lovely people I've ever met. And when I got sick, she sent doctors to my house.
Oh, I never do that when you're sick.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But because I bet you don't even know what they can do to you. I mean, they gave me a steroid shot, for instance, and an IV drip.
Oh, sure. This is theater world. They do this for people. That people have to do 8 shows a week. They keep you going.
That's right.
Yeah.
And those IV drips are interesting. I mean, it's basically electrolytes and vitamins, but of course, there's so much water going in, so you just pee for days.
I noticed you changed your View mug. What you're drinking in your mug today was that a concoction?
I put Gatorade in it.
You put Gatorade in your mug?
Yeah, Gatorade Zero because it has electrolytes. And if you have to drink, they told me I have to drink 64 ounces of water a day.
No, you're gonna be going to the bathroom constantly.
Oh, it's like being waterboarded.
Yeah.
But if you do the Gatorade,
right,
it has a lot of the good stuff in it.
All right. Well, so we're at this thing. It's very exciting. You're backstage.
Yeah.
I'm mingling with people, and there are luminaries at this thing. Alyssa came to me. She's like, I feel weird.
Alyssa was so sweet and cute about.
She said, I didn't realize how cool Joy was.
Like, who was she impressed with?
I think, Mikhail Baryshnikov.
Baryshnikov was there. Yeah, I gave him a big hug.
Yeah, she knows him from Sex and the City. That's why she's excited about him.
He is the GOAT, as they say, the greatest of all time.
Yes, and I love when a celebrity's shorter than me. I'm very excited about that.
You know what? I think in order to be leaping into the air like him, I think you have to be short.
Yes.
He's muscle.
Right, that's how I do it, too.
He's in pain now, the poor guy. He's old now, he can't do it anymore.
Diane Sawyer,
Diane,
LaLuche.
Looking gorgeous. Right, LaLuche was there.
Susan Lucci.
Well, she's doing the second group. So
regardless, these are big stars at your thing. And then, I don't know, it was really fun. And everybody
Diane
else
Sawyer always looks gorgeous. Mm-hmm. She's like a movie star all the time.
My bosses were there, the president of the network, Alman, and Deb O'Connell, who runs news and all the stations.
I really like those two people.
It was me too, and it was great that they came. Yeah. But then we do the performance, and you get a little risque. I'm just going to say it right now. Not just in the stuff you wrote, but the stuff you're actually personally performing. It's you work blue.
Well, it's a grown-up show. You notice there were no children there.
I'd go so far as to say it's an adult show.
No, it is not.
It is not, but it's explicit.
But look, these are things that women talk. This is how women talk.
Yeah.
When we talk about our ex-husbands, we have to include our sex lives.
Yes, you do.
Because that is part of marriage, they tell me.
I'm just saying I'm looking at you a little differently today than I did last week. And,
no, but when I was doing stand-up, I wasn't exactly 100% squeaky clean.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch some tapes. But no, but you were. But it was funny because we have our kind of straight-laced bosses in the audience.
Oh yeah.
And one of them, I think he was laughing, or he's just really maybe he's spasming in his legs because he's too tall for the chairs.
You never know.
Yeah, but anyway, everybody seemed to
laughing?
like it. Yeah, she seemed to be. It was hard to tell because Sarah Haynes was laughing so loud I couldn't hear anybody else or
she
see
grabbed
past her.
Nicolette's arm and put makeup all over her
Yes.
from this grabbing her.
Yeah.
When Sarah laughs, it's like a crowd sport.
She lashes out. Yeah.
She hits you and holds you.
Yes. She did a lot of damage. I used to think you were embellishing that, but I saw Nikki's arm.
Aha.
Yes, you're right. See? All right. So we talked about on the show about how, in addition to being very funny and adult, you also include very serious themes and things like that too. I would say it never feels forced, and it never feels
thank you.
like an after-school special. But there are really emotional things in it too.
Well, I have found in theater that if you're just funny, it does not resonate as much. Because people come to the theater to be moved, to laugh, to cry, to enjoy in different ways. And that I know that because when I did my one-person show, Me, My Mouth, and I, it was called. And I must say, it was funny from start to finish.
Right.
People laughing. And then I did the same show in another place with a similar audience that had come to see it the first time. And people were saying to me it was a different show. And I said, no, it was the exact same show, but you were laughing so much you weren't listening.
Oh.
They don't pay attention as much when they're laughing because they're in the moment enjoying
right.
it.
And where's the next joke?
Right.
And then,
and that could work. That works for comedy. It certainly does. But for theater, you have to move them and they have to remember it.
Now,
and by the way, I just want to brag a little that the reviews, even though I haven't read all of them, people tell me that have been excellent.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's a great show. It's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend people going to see it. And you improv'd a couple times, and of course, it's no surprise to me that you're fast on your feet, but it was very funny. Someone dropped something in the back. You were like, I mean...
Well, I made a reference to Anna Navarro, so...
Yes, you did.
I wonder if she liked it.
Oh, she loved it.
Yeah.
She loved it. Are you kidding me? Anna loves every reference to her. All right, so that was great. And then you mentioned that it's funny and poignant, and that's good. It's funny because I go to a lot of Broadway shows. I enjoy theater, but my wife and my daughters are theater obsessed.
Who am I anyway?
I mean, that's really what
we're looking
at.
My resume, coming from a little kid.
Yeah, from my 5-year-old. Yeah, no, she's 10. But we see a lot of really sad shows.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most, a lot of Sondheim and stuff like that. It's not fun at the end.
Sondheim?
Yeah, we just saw
Yeah, he's sad.
Yeah, it's depressing and it's thoughtful and they're works of art. Les Mis. I mean, some of this stuff is I don't really need to.
Les Mis is a sad show.
I don't love spending $1,200 to feel bad. At the
Yeah.
end.
Well,
just
that's
me.
why I like to bring comedy into the world.
think that's smart, yes.
I do. I
think
feel
that's
people
good.
need to laugh, particularly now when the world is so in tumult.
Now, you just a moment ago said before the show that I should bring my wife to this, but I want to go through the chain of
Why
events
didn't you
here.
bring your wife?
Because you told me not to.
Well,
You told-
I said that, you know why? Because there were limited number of tickets at
Yes.
opening night, and it was all invited audience.
Yes.
So I told the girls also, Sarah, all then.
Yeah, none of them got plus ones.
No.
Oddly, Nikki Kane, our social producer, did get a plus one. I just want to point that out. You were very certain people got plus ones.
Well, she was working.
All right, I'm just saying you were very inconsistent with this. You told executive
But
producer
then-
Brian no plus one.
Wait a second. But then when I spoke to you at the last minute, I said, "Are you bringing Heather?"
Yeah, you said, "Why isn't Heather coming?" And I said,
you
"Because you
said-
told me not to."
Okay, but that you had time to bring her. There was an extra ticket at that point.
I had already made arrangements at that point to get out of going.
Oh, so don't put this on me because you didn't want Heather to come.
No, I of course wanted Heather to come. I want to spend every second I can with my lovely wife. Man, I'm just saying you were very discerning with who got plus one, who didn't.
That's not true. You're making up their stories now.
All right. One thing people might be surprised about is you don't touch on politics in this at all.
No, here and there they
Yeah,
do.
there's a couple of allusions, but
Yeah.
there's never
No.
a direct mention.
You know what? Not everything is about Donald Trump.
I agree, but usually you're the first one to
Because
bring
of
it
the
in.
show.
I know.
If I wasn't on this show, do you think I would even mention his name? My husband can't even look at the TV when he's on.
I know. I'm just saying it does usually come up. I was surprised it didn't come up more directly, but I get it. It was fun. All right.
Although I am looking for an interview with a woman who is no longer married to somebody because of his politics, because he voted for Trump, maybe.
Oh.
I think that would be an interesting interview.
All right. Well, listen, if you're at home and you think you have a story to tell, write to the podcast and maybe we'll put
Yeah.
you in contact with Joy.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
I think that. Don't you think that would be an interesting
Absolutely.
story?
Absolutely. It's funny. My wife and I, when we got married, never really talked that much about politics. We were young, and it wasn't that. And she says often, because I think she has friends that are in that situation where they feel differently than their partners. And she said to me, "Thank God we're on the same page politically, because I don't think I could be with someone who wasn't." Which
It's
is
very
interesting.
hard right now
Yeah.
because it sounds it's just too discordant. My first husband and I were very much about politics.
But Steve and you are pretty aligned. If not, he just doesn't want to talk about it.
I was aligned with the first one. I'm aligned with this one.
Yeah. All right.
None of the guys I ever went out with were not aligned.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, I could have a bite, so I don't feel like arguing.
No, I understand. You never
What?
want to cross over.
It kills your sex life.
You don't like the fighting at all either.
I think the fighting kills your sex life.
Yeah, it's funny because you're not someone like, I mean, a lot of times in romantic comedies and things like that, it's the kind of like, they fight and they fall in love, but you actually get along with your husbands.
I do, but I wrote a play called Crisis in Queens.
Yes.
About a woman who is very sort of dissatisfied with her life. She wants to be a professional singer.
Right.
But she blames it on her husband. It's a comedy.
Going back to the content of your play.
Yeah.
You've given Sunny Hostin a hard time about
The smut in her
the smut
books?
in her book. I think you're right there with her in this play.
But hers is very sexual.
Yes.
Mine is not sexual. Mine is verbal. It's all words.
It's words about sex.
Well, the one that Susie does, yeah.
I mean, no, I think like most of them have some content
I'm
here.
telling you, that's what marriage is about. It's about sex and about other things.
All right. What's the most surprising thing that happened opening week?
The most exciting thing.
Most surprising thing.
Surprising thing that happened was I got sick.
Yeah, well, that wasn't good.
That was a drag.
Yeah, but like for 20-something years, you've been interviewing people who work in theater, and you hear the stories
Yeah.
about what happens in the audience. Someone falls asleep, their alarm goes off.
That happened when I was playing around with this in the Hamptons one time.
Yeah.
What I do, when I have a monologue, I test it out first
Right.
to see how it's working. We did it one time in Southampton, and my friend Robert passed out in the middle of it. In the middle of the monologue, he was on the floor.
Robert Zimmerman?
Yeah.
What happened? Was he okay?
He had like a low blood sugar thing. Probably what happened to a lot of people.
Oh,
if
gosh.
you don't get those electrolytes and
Right.
you're dehydrated, you might pass out.
You need Gatorade and kettle corn to keep you going.
Right. So that happened. That was then. In this group, what's surprising about it is that it's as funny as it is because all I went for was truth,
Right.
and truth is funny.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's sad, but often funny.
Both.
All right, let's dip into politics just a little bit.
right.
With everything going on in the first few weeks of the Trump administration, do you think Democrats are doing enough at the moment?
No.
No.
I said it today on the show.
Yeah.
They need to get on television, just like TV is not dead yet, especially not with voters and mature voters who vote the most. Of course, you go on Joe Rogan. Of course, you go on that Big Daddy or whatever that place.
Call Your Daddy.
What's it called?
Call Your Daddy.
Call Your Daddy. You go on those podcasts, but you also go on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, The View, whatever show you can get on where you can counter what they're doing.
I think
on the other
you
side.
said get off your butts today on the show.
I
and
did.
I understand that. I think the counter argument to that is it becomes noise. It stops being effective. People don't
I
get
don't agree.
inspired
I
by
don't
it.
agree. I think that the other side, there's a huge audience in this country that did not vote, period. And the other part, there's a huge audience that did not vote for Trump. And then there's his crowd that voted for him. You might be speaking to the MAGA crowd, or you might be speaking to the non-committals.
Do you think it's helpful, like when a Pete Buttigieg goes on Fox and talks to that audience? Do you think that makes a difference?
Very much.
Yeah.
First of all, he's a doll, and he's smart, and he's to the point, and he speaks in the vernacular, as I said. Don't give you this legalese, and don't do that. That's what the secret to Trump was, that he talks like you do, like everybody does.
One of the interesting things about our show, I think, is that people do watch from both sides of the aisle. Some of them watch because they don't like you guys and they want to hear what you're going to say. But, you never know. You might break through to some of those people, too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame the voters. I think that they've been misled to a large extent. They get their false information on different channels, And these two people that are running the world in a certain way, this Elon Musk and Rupert Murdoch, I mean, I resent it.
Yeah, it is funny. The misinformation stuff's crazy. And like for the last couple of days, I've been reading that you're no longer on the show. You were fired. You were this, the other thing. It's just so frustrating.
Let them say whatever they want. The truth is the truth.
Yes. So working and doing all this stuff, are you still following news? Are you watching things?
I'm not as much.
Yeah.
I've been, I'm too busy with rewriting and fixing and calling and to even pay attention to the news that much. And it's kind of nice.
I was going to say, does that make you happy a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm on a certain vacation.
All right. And then you got to come back and do this stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's very scary what's going on. I feel as though we're losing the country.
Well, something that's not political. And I think I know the answer to this. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Of course not.
Of course not. Did Steve watch the Super Bowl?
No, but I was watching it for a minute. And it's a wonder that they all don't break their necks. I've never seen such violence going on. I mean, they leap on the guy and put him on the ground. You could scrape your neck like that in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's a dangerous sport. Well, speaking of the Super Bowl, tomorrow on the show, we have the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, coming on the show in studio, which is pretty cool.
He's a player?
He's the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. He won the MVP award. He went to Disney World. He won the whole thing, yeah.
Well, one thing I noticed was it was like 22-0 at one point.
Yeah, no, they destroyed them.
So there was no game anymore. The question was going to be, how much more can they make?
Yes.
How many points higher
40
can
points
they go?
they won. Yeah,
they went to 40-0?
They went to 40, yeah. No, it was 40-20. Or I think 40-20.
Oh, so they came back.
40-22, I think. Oh. Yeah, and no, but they demolished a team that everyone said was the best in it. Jalen Hurts is a young, charismatic star. You're going to love him. He's here tomorrow, and we're going to have some fun with him.
And he's on the winning team.
He's on the winning team. We only have winners here on The View.
Which team won?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Good.
Yeah.
And the other team was what?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, and they were the ones who were going to win.
Everyone thought the Kansas City Chiefs were going to win.
Wow.
And
well, that's an interesting game. The underdog comes
underdog came through,
like
and he's a good guy, and we'll have fun with him. His signature move is something called the tush push.
Oh.
Where he gets in front of the 1 yard line, and the rest of the team pushes him over.
They push him in the tush?
Push him in, yes. So we'll see what we can do with that.
Well, you don't break your neck that way, at least.
No, hopefully.
The tackle.
All right, before we go, we had Melissa Gilbert with us today.
I love her. She was so adorable.
She was lovely. And she talked about her off-Broadway play, and she talked about the reboot of Little House on the Prairie that Netflix is doing.
Yeah.
Now, you actually you had some knowledge of Little House.
I did. I love that show. I used to watch
great.
it all. It was a very good show. It had good stories and good characters. Michael Landon was wonderful.
Sure.
And I really liked it. It was like a glimpse into another part of the world, the country, that I didn't really know much about.
No, and they're doing a reboot of it. Do you like the idea of reboots, or do you feel like they should come up with new stuff, or how do you feel?
What's been a reboot?
Oh, there's been so many of them. I mean, they've taken
Friends. Have they done Friends?
They haven't done
yet?
Friends yet.
How about they do a reboot called Enemies?
That's not bad. We should pitch that.
Yeah.
I think you could produce that. That'd be good. All right. Well,
and all they do is fight with each other.
Yeah. Nobody's likable.
They all hate each other.
Yeah. That was kind of Seinfeld. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think I'd watch Enemies by Joy Behar. All right.
Yeah. Well, Seinfeld the Larry David was behind Seinfeld.
Yes.
And Larry David is behind Curb Your Enthusiasm. So that's his curmudgeon-y sensibility all the time, which is what comedians. I keep telling people, positive is not funny.
The other thing we have on the show tomorrow is we have 3 generations of Saturday Night Live stars on the show.
Oh,
which will be
Julia
fun.
Sweeney.
Julia Sweeney.
She's going to be in one of my
Absolutely.
my shows. My first ex-husband, going down the line a little.
That's right. And also
I'm
Lorraine
excited about her.
Lorraine Newman, one of the original.
Maybe she'll do it too.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
Who
And
else?
Leslie Jones.
And Leslie Jones, very funny.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. So we'll have a
Yeah.
big show. We got football, we got comedy,
I
we got
love
everything.
it.
Yeah.
The
And
View is on a roll.
The View is on a roll. There you go. And on that note, thank you for joining me today, Joy. Tomorrow I'll be back with Sarah Haynes, and we'll see you then.